Hello. Okay. All right. It's been a little while. I think this stream's caught up by now. It's been a little while. I've been a little busy, and give me a second to like actually think about what happened. Okay. So one Tuesday I was out to visit a friend over in Boone, and that was a great time. A really good time hanging out with him. And then the second Tuesday that I missed, I actually didn't realize until it happened was I bought tickets to a concert, and I didn't even like realize it was on a Tuesday, so that's 2 Tuesdays in a row that I missed. But it's also, you know, like we're right in between pieces. It was a perfect time to like take a little break because, you know, like if there had to be a time, I think that was good. I'm gonna need a few seconds to fix up the rig and everything. Rig is a funny word. Fix up the camera and the lighting. Turn you around. Okay, lights on. Oh, I need to check if the microphone's even on. Microphone is good. Well, at least it appears to be good. Sorry, I think I got bit by a mosquito. My foot is really itchy. And I don't like that because that's weird. There we go. Close out of that, close out of that. Music's running. Lights are on. Now I just need to fix the camera. There we go. Fix that, and then we just need to adjust like the camera itself. Whoa, did it just become black and white? What just happened? Why am I so desaturated? We're gonna turn up the exposure. Too much. By 3. Turn down the brightness. So it's not too extreme. We're just gonna pack that saturation in because holy crap, am I like completely dead looking. It is not that dim in this room. There's plenty of color. The walls are supposed to be green and blue, which is such a weird combo. We painted it like years ago and we haven't touched it since, and I don't know. The lines don't even match up. You can see like right above my head, like the corner is like meeting up with a line that's, it's a lot. But you know, I don't really care about like the color of the room personally. I just care if it's a conveniently sized room. Oh, so yes, went to Boone. It was a great time. Did a bunch of way more exercise than I thought I would because my friend, they enjoy climbing, and by golly, is that climbing stuff hard. Like that was a really tough time. But it was fun. It is very satisfying to do like mountain climbing gyms. It's like figuring out a puzzle basically with your body, and sometimes your body's lacking. You know, like my body, it lacks a little bit, but I also don't have that much experience. It was my second time, I think, third time. Second and third time there. I got a little snack here, I'm sorry. I got one of those like little Debbie cakes. I can't help myself. I'm a little treat guy. But yeah, mountain climbing. Ate a lot of food. Had a lot of leftovers because I don't really have a huge stomach. Or neither of us had a huge stomach. So we just spent like the last day just finishing up everything we had from the week. But anyways, oh, and hiking. Hiking is always so beautiful, so great, but it is also extremely exhausting, especially depending on like the distance. I did have a friend who, she's an older woman and she hikes, and she was like, oh, 5 miles, that's nothing. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you're old. Like, let's take that into consideration. You know, don't let you forget that. But that makes me think that she probably does a lot of hiking. If 5 miles is nothing to her, you probably do quite a bit of hiking. Not a ton, maybe. You don't have to be like a pro, but is it pro hiking? Anyways. Yeah, that was brutal. I was heaving, I was sweating, I was a mess. And I had a swollen lip the entire time. I don't know what that was about. I don't know what caused it, but my lip was swollen for like 2 or 3 days the entire trip. Which was vaguely concerning. It's not the first time I've had like a swollen lip or something. I knew it would just like go away, because sometimes they just come and go. I really don't know what caused it. It just came and then left with the day I got home. But yeah, that was Boone. Very good food. Boone's a great place. It's there's a joke that like a lot of people from Boone tell people that Boone sucks and that you should never go to Boone, mainly because they don't want people going to Boone. It's like and becoming like a tourist trap. It's just got a lot of like, it's a lot of hikes, a lot of nature, a lot of beautiful stuff there. They got like nice artsy places, nice little cafes. Very old and boring, in a good way. You know, like sometimes you want, like a lot of people really value that like old, natural, boring kind of location where you know you can settle down and retire. But it's also a college town, so it's like a mix of like the two. You know, like nice, lively young people, and then also quiet nature, putting flowers in your hair kind of vibe. Or maybe I have a dumb perspective because I don't go to Boone that often. Who knows? But yeah, that was Boone. Then after I came back, I immediately went to a concert. Knock Loose. I posted about it in my Instagram. You could probably find it in my stories if you go through like the little folders. Yeah, Knock Loose. But the opening bands were Speed, who did fantastic. They had so much energy. They were so crazy, all the way from Sydney, Australia. You'll notice that there's actually like a lot of locations that come from the 4 bands. Show Me the Body. I love Show Me the Body. They're a little slower. They're a little bit more of a build-up type of band where they go slow and then they really crank it up. They have songs that are like crazy, like right out the gate, but usually that's how they, especially with their most recent album, that's how they like to do it. So I enjoyed it. I love them, but you know, like I think a lot of people do get like bored, especially when you're at like a show where all the musicians are going so crazy and hard right out the gate. So you got one band that's like a little slow to build up. It's a little bit like it kind of stops you in the tracks. Again, I think they're great. I had a good time. I loved every song. There are songs that I didn't even know from them that like as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, this I gotta find what this song is. And they're from New York, USA. And they were also repping Free Palestine. You gotta love that. Big fan of them. Sorry you don't have anything to see right now because we're gonna be starting a new piece. So yeah, the UK. Oh, sorry, I skipped to the next band. So the next band is Loathe. Loathe was fantastic too. They were a little weird. They were a little like more of like a dancey kind of rock mixed with, you know, like the punk and hardcore band. So it's like a weird blend of the two, like 3 or 4 genres. And I really enjoyed them, but they were like such a different vibe. I think they were good energy. And, you know, like, especially me, I really like a wide variety of genres. So like just having a band that was such a weird blend of like several genres. Like I enjoyed them. I really did. And it seemed like a lot of people also had a good time too. So I don't think people were opposed to, you know, like maybe not pure hardcore band showing up. And then Knock Loose came on. It was so hot. It was so long. It was so sweaty, but like, God, they were so good. They're a fantastic band, but I was kind of like pleading for death by the end of it because it was just so hot. It was so hot. Great time, great band. Love the album. Album's fantastic. It was hot. That's all I could think about. Just like I was so muggy. It's sweaty. But yeah. But yeah, great time. Bought a vinyl, bought a shirt. I'm wearing the shirt right now. It's a pretty good one. I think they had great merch, but it didn't scratch the itch perfectly for what I wanted. But you know, that's such a weird criticism, anyways. You know, like they can't read my mind. You know. One second. You're just watching me snack and eat this whole stream so far. Give me a moment to warm up. I want to talk about what, you know, all I did. And then the following Tuesday, I had another concert. This time it was Big Boy from Outkast fame, also known as just Big Boy. He played a lot of Outkast hits. He played a lot of his own hits because he also has his own career that, you know, he occasionally releases a good song or two. I was excited for it. It was a weird vibe. It was like 90% white people over their 40s and 50s. It was just really kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird. I did eventually just have to like suck it up and get into it, but it was just like so many old people like shaking their hips, and I'm just like, this isn't what I was expecting. But you know, everybody's having a good time. Let me not just be, you know, weird and stupid about it. I had a good time. He did great. Then there was another band. I thought it would be a jazz band with Big Boy, but apparently it was like Big Boy, and then the main star was Big Boy was the opener to a big jazz band. I think Trombone Shorty and something New Orleans. I don't know the full name. They were pretty good. It just wasn't the vibe that I was up for. I still watched the whole thing and, you know, clapped and all that kind of stuff, but it was just like I'm kind of just here for Big Boy and hip hop, like maybe like a little bit of jazz with the hip hop, but not just like jazz on its own. It was fine. They did great. Everybody else had a good time. I bet, you know, like I get so in my own head about whenever I'm at a concert. That's why like it took me a while to like warm up to the idea. It's just because like I get so like worked up in my head of my expectations of what I want the music to sound like, what people are doing, how people are enjoying it. I'm like crowd watching instead of watching the band. It's really annoying the way I watch concerts, but I had a good time. All of it was great. All of it was a good time. Just not being in the house, being trapped inside. I like doing that. But yeah, that's what I've been doing over the past 2 weeks. It was a good time to take a break because, you know, like I mentioned earlier, I did finish the piece last time. I guess I could show that off, although it would probably break open the computer. Let me see if I can just open up a PNG. That way, like, it's just one flat layer and not the huge file. Let's see, go here. Don't say my file names out loud. Not that it makes a difference. There we go. So this was the piece that I finished from last week. Omar Finding Inner Peace, the 11th vampire, meaning I only have 3 more to go before I'm completely done with the series. I might go back to do 1 or 2, just to fix some ones that I think are a little lacking. Specifically, I think Kai and Masha. Maybe not Kai, because I think Kai is still pretty decent, but Masha I think looks very unfinished, very unkempt, despite it taking a pretty long time. Like, most of these pieces are like 10 to 11 sessions, including Masha. But some of them don't look significantly better than others. It's really strange. I don't know what happened. But yeah, Omar. This is the 11th vampire. 3 more to go. At least 2 of them are going to be a little tough for me because like I need to actually sit down and think about what would be like the best way to you know, put them out onto a canvas, you know, like a fully finished illustration. But the last one should be the most exciting because Lisbeth the Malkavian, I have a great design for her. I love the story that I made, like wrote up in my head. There's a lot of like visual craziness that I could do. Malkavians are just the best, you know, like everybody loves Malkavians. Maybe not everybody likes to be Malkavian. They just like to have Malkavians just anywhere in Vampire the Masquerade. They're always the most fun to imagine, to write, to this and that. I got hyped again for Vampire the Masquerade. I saw a video explaining like what it was like playing Bloodlines for the first time back in like 2008 or whatever. I can't remember the video name, but it really just like soaked me right back into like why I like the Vampire so much, Vampire the Masquerade so much. I don't even remember who recommended it. I think I knew it was a game that everybody talked about in the like the not underground video game scene, but more like the hidden gem kind of scene, I guess, where you kind of like look for games that like really were under the radar. They even explained in the video that like the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is like a fantastic RPG, but it also released like right next to like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It released right next to Metal Gear Solid 3. It released against like another huge title, and it's just like as good as a game it's not competing with those games. Like those games were like literally like changed their respective genres, or like are still like exploding in the memories of like most video gamers of like various strains. But yeah, Brother Masquerade's fun. Gonna continue it, but first we're gonna take a while to just have some fun with some other ideas and sketches I have. I think maybe 3, maybe 4. We'll see how these go. Let me go ahead and get out my book. I think I've actually like drawn out all 4 of the ideas that I have, and I might have already talked about them too. Let me just like find them real quick. So we are going to be doing, let's see, what I call like Maximalist Cowboy, which is going to be like a cowboy, but it's going to be like him drawing a gun, but he has like an infinite amount of bandoliers, an infinite amount of arms, an infinite amount of revolvers, and it should be really crazy to look at. It's almost like you're looking at 7 different photos stacked on top of each other, and maybe some weird like eldritch distortion going on. I'll have to see. I think that one's going to be more of an experiment. It might not even be a good piece, but it's just going to be like something to experiment with. And sometimes it's fun to just like play around with a sketch, work out an idea. Maybe it looks terrible by the end of it, but like that's just how it goes. After that, we're going to be doing Dante from Devil May Cry 3, specifically 3. I'm very excited to do that piece, so I got the sketch over here. Let me see if that shows up on camera. Right there. That's what we're going to be doing. He's going to be using ebony and ivory around all those like Grim Reaper little creatures. Should be really cool. That one, I don't know. We're just going to try like a bunch of different stuff in order to just have fun during this like sketching phase, where instead of trying to make fully illustrated pieces, I still make fully illustrated pieces, but a little bit less like what's the word, aggressive, to like make it finished and pretty. Maybe have a little bit more fun with how rough it is. After that, I think we're gonna take a little break from any kind of like the reference or theme. I just want to do like a monkey. I'm thinking like an old please, there on camera. I'm gonna zoom in even more. Like I'm thinking like old anatomical sketch of like a monkey skeleton, but holding an hourglass. What does that mean? I don't know. You make it up. I like drawing monkeys. I just think it'd be a good time to just have fun drawing a skeleton. Skeletons are always like really easy for people to enjoy and I guess consume. It's very like it's like an open canvas for people to enjoy. Maybe it's goofy for some people, but it's also super cool and serious for other people. Skulls work. I don't know why. Like my best piece as far as like doing numbers and likes and all that kind of stuff and comments is always the skeleton with the skull with flowers. There's no meaning to it. There's no thought that went into it. It was literally just I wanted to make a piece that people liked, so I made a skull and I added flowers to make it like something more than just a skull. And people swallowed it up, and I can't really blame it. It's also like a really well done piece. And then the last piece, I think, before I go back to the vampires, is probably going to be this Bomb Rush Cyberpunk Jet Set Radio picture piece that I have sketched out. Let me show that off. Ooh, here we go. So here's like the poses I worked out. You can see I got like a beat up there, and then I have red from Bomb Rush Cyberpunk just down there. Little companion piece of the two. Just like it's one of my favorite game series of growing up. These are more like little things that I had to work out, trying to figure out the pose. And then switch. Other little ideas that I had as far as like how to pose them with each other to make them like both stand out. Oh yeah. Once I get those 4, I think I'm gonna go right back into doing the vampires. So in between all these pieces, I'm gonna have to be thinking about how to like lay out all the 3 last vampires. Then from there, I retire. I never draw again. I never pick up a pencil. Hopefully I have some more ideas. If in doubt, I could always just draw more skeletons and monkeys and references to video games. I think I'm not gonna be tapped out on that. I think that's probably gonna carry me for a while. I'm gonna eat this last cupcake. How bad is this for me? $61 grams of carbs, and there it is. 47 grams of sugar. That is 92% of the amount of sugar you need in a day. I definitely had more than one sweet today. I'm a bad person. Put me in jail. I do a little bit as far as like keeping track of a diet, but I'm really bad. I just can't help myself, especially with sweets. Like I'm a very big sweet addict. I'm pretty decent on blood sugar though. 1 second, almost done. And then last thing before we move on, here's a piece that I painted recently that I'm extremely proud of. I think this is actually like one of my, flat out just one of my best paintings. Probably even better than my skull that I was talking about earlier. It's a picture that I took when I was hiking that I mentioned earlier. Let me see if I can show you the picture. I probably should keep it as a layer of that. Oh, I actually probably can find exactly that photo. There it is. Copy image. That's the stream. That's not actually the art piece. There we go. Let's see. It's probably terrible. I shouldn't like show this off because I don't want people to have like be able to pick apart too much like what's right and what's wrong. You'll be like, oh, this thing was supposed to be here. This thing's supposed to be there. Yeah. It's not a one-to-one, obviously, but I'm really proud of, like, you can see a lot of the structure that's supposed to be there. So what I did for this to make it like look so much different is that I really took my time with working out the colors, working out everything. Like, so the way that I do paintings in watercolor is that I usually do it kind of like a fill-in comic book, where I make a color onto the palette. I fill in blue here, I fill in red here, I fill in green there. You know, like hair yellow, you know, eyes green, skin peach, or, you know, like some kind of like almond skin tone. I don't know if almond's the right word. Anyways. I just want to finish that because it keeps looking at me. Kept looking at me strange, so I had to finish it. You know how it is. You know how it be. Sorry. So yeah, I'm very like almost like acrylic paint, where I just I put color exactly where it goes. I don't do too much blending. I don't do much of the gradients. I do a little bit of it, but it's usually very hit or miss, or like I won't put too much effort into it. But with this piece, I decided to use watercolors a little bit more how watercolors are supposed to be used, which is you lay down like a lot of water onto this canvas just raw, and then you let the paints like work themselves into each other, the pigments. So you'll put a little bit of red on one side, then I'll put a little bit of green on the other side, and then slowly the water will like even out the colors, and then like mix them together and merge them into like a nice blend. And you really see that with whenever it comes to like areas like here, you can see like a little bit of the darker green mixing with a little bit of the lighter yellow green, and you can see like they just work themselves out and really evenly. It makes these like smooth, nicely textured surfaces, especially with the nicer paints that I've been using. Or you can see like on the rock, you can see how like it can like build. You can see these like little bits of blue just like merging with the green. Obviously I put like a darker black and just like painted it on top, so you can have more of like the sharper textures. Which I mean, you know, like the rock, you can see like maybe like a little path of blue across it, and that's where I got the blue from for my canvas. And I'm still noticing like little mistakes, but I think overall like you can definitely tell that it's supposed to be that photo. There's maybe like a license for artistic interpretation that like makes it a little bit more, you know, unique and a little bit more my style. Because really took my time building out in each and every section and trying to figure out, okay, this branch is here, this branch is here, this branch is here, this rock is shaped this way, this is supposed to be a patch of black, you know, breaking it down into shapes. But then once I had like enough of the key figures in there, that's when I like just, you know, put random leaves everywhere and then put random like strokes here and there, and then maybe try to like pay attention to like the direction they were heading, but not so much that, you know, like it drove me nuts. You know, this is realism, this isn't hyper realism. You know, I don't have the patience for that. But yeah, as you can see, whenever I take my time and actually like think about the pieces, think about the take my time with actually like painting each and every part of it, it really turns out well. Like I'm very proud of this picture. Even though it's not one for one, I think it's great. I mean, like, you can tell like there's things like the green isn't exactly the same green, but it's like I also just liked how this green looked, you know. I also didn't use that much. I don't think I used any coloring pencil, which is something I usually use to kind of fill in the gaps of my piece. Something I use to like make up for my shortcomings when it comes to watercolor. But this one, all I did was watercolor, a little bit of gouache here and there. You can see it pretty clearly, and then just like the slightest little bit of acrylic. I didn't want to use acrylic, but the gouache doesn't really like build up to like a really bold color unless you build up several layers, and I didn't have the patience for that. I just, you know, like just slapped on for like the last little touch before it was all over. I just like tapped a little bit here and there, just some acrylic white, to really just make those whites pop in these few areas where it needed to pop. But yeah, that was the piece I finished. View from Boone is the title of the piece. I'll have to like actually edit it. Usually for editing, I just like fix little things here and there. Maybe like I think there's a hair here, or maybe like a wrinkle. I don't know which one it is. I might edit that out. Just, you know, straighten it up, trim out all the little white sections, you know, like these little notebook loops, or what are they called? Rings. The notebook rings. I'll have to like trim all that out. Maybe a little bit of color correction, because you can still see some of the pencil lines. But I do like to keep my traditional work, like my paintings, very traditional. Like I want you to see and feel the paper. I only usually like do paint overs if I really mess something up. So something like a face, where I painted the face and maybe the skin tone was super strong and like it ended up like looking a little goofy. I've done it where like, oh, I wanted them to have a very pretty face, but then whenever I put the color down, like there was a smear on their cheek, or, you know, like the face ended up looking too weird. Then I paint over it, and then I try to draw it again, and then it just looks like a mess. So sometimes I just have to completely scrap it and to go over it with digital. But usually, especially recently, I've been trying to just tweak a little bit, you know, like make the blacks a little darker, make the colors a little stronger, and that's it. You know, just very little editing to make it a nicer photo, because you want to preserve some of those mistakes too. I think that's really important whenever you're doing like traditional work, is that like you don't want people to think it's a photo, because, you know, like then they would just use the photo. Like if I just wanted to be like, oh, here's my painting, and then show this picture, I could do that. That'd be stupid. Nobody would believe me, but, you know, I don't. That's pretty good. Like, that's pretty good. Not to pat my back too hard, but man, I kind of killed it. Like, I'm just noticing like how many similarities there are. Like all the little pieces are almost exactly where they, or not exactly where they need to be, but they're like, you know, like I see this shape here, and then when I go to my painting, it's like, oh, that's exactly where it needs to be. I see that bush over there, and then I look on my piece, and I'm like, the bush is almost exactly the right size, almost exactly the same shape. It's just maybe a different color, but I like the way that it like differentiated itself. Like you could like tell the bush is so different. And then also I did have a hard time trying to get that color. But we can also tweak it. Like I said, like I can just add more yellow as like a filter. But we'll see. I probably won't do that because I don't want, like I said, I don't want to edit it too harshly. Anyways, yeah, that's that. We're gonna start on the new piece now. That's enough of me yapping. I think that was like maybe 30 to 40 minutes of me yapping. Whew. Okay, saved. We're gonna close it. So new file. Oh. I think A3. I think that's just normal like printer paper. I might make it a little bit more skinny, canvas-wise, because it is just a very single image. Like, it's just a single guy, a single lad. Let's see. Go to the cropping. Here we go. Maybe something like right there. Just a little skinnier, a little skinny. I don't think we're gonna go too long today, and I'm almost treating this like a warm-up, just getting right back into the flow of doing pieces online. Ooh, oh. So, as far as style, I don't plan on this being very original, or sorry, very realistic. Let me go to here, concept cookie, heck yeah, just have all the colors. I think that's all the important colors. We're gonna start with the usual color that I work with as far as like the pencil lines. I'm gonna keep it chalk for now. We're just gonna focus on trying to get the shape and silhouette right. So I'm thinking maybe a little bit of a slant, you know, to the picture. You know, like a Dutch angle almost, just like right there. That's gonna be very vague. Like, we're probably not gonna include the horizon at all. This is more of just like a guide for how to structure it. And then overall silhouette, I'm thinking like the shape is gonna be somewhere like right here. Maybe a little bit too much to the left, so like a little bit more of a lean towards the middle. Go, big old hat. You can't be a cowboy maximalist if you don't even have a cowboy hat. His head's definitely too big, but we're gonna work from there. Gonna have his coat billowing out like this because he's gonna be opening his coat. Maybe his hand here. Oh, thank you. I didn't even notice you were here. But I appreciate it. I was kind of just yapping and showing off like a painting that I did. But I appreciate the company. I hope you have a good one. So he's gonna be like reaching into his belt to like grab a pistol. I'm thinking he might also have like the pistol out. Because like I said, this is probably like... Here, picture this in your head. So imagine like a recording of a guy, a cowboy. He lifts up his coat, grabs his revolver, aims toward the camera, fires. If you took like the photos of that, stacked them all on top of each other and just like put them into one image, you know, you would see like him grabbing onto his coat. You'll also see him with the gun out. You'll also see him like, you know, all the frames in between as well. You're gonna see like multiple arms, multiple hands, multiple revolvers, and that's kind of what I want to go for, but all in one image. So we'll see how well that works. Also went down like a super huge like rabbit hole whenever I was thinking about this piece of kind of a similar idea where he's like reaching for the gun, and then there's one version of him that's like that gets shot, and then one version of him that ducks and actually kills the other guy in like a shootout kind of situation. I think that's a good idea, but I think I only have enough energy in me for one cowboy piece. And I think this one is a little bit closer to where I wanted to go. You know, like the original idea was, you know, like an eldritch, you know, maximalist cowboy. And then I went into like this weird spiritual, you know, dual, you know, multiple possibility cowboy, which is similar, but not what I wanted. Oh, thank you. If there's one thing I can do, it's yap. That's really what I like to do. But yeah, I'm trying to see how I got this worked out. Oh, I see. I remember why. So yeah, I did include in the original sketch like his hat, and then I thought like, oh, what if his hat like flies off in one like parallel universe? That's why I think there's like this weird like eldritch section to it where it's like it's almost like all possibilities are happening at once. You know, like all possible futures are happening in one screenshot of like the what is it? The universe? The what do they call it whenever it's like multiverse? That's what it is. Where did my paintbrush go? Hello? Don't know what happened there. All right, so you see his hat like flying. You can see it like going this way, going that way. Probably even like a faceless cowboy, like, you know, like just like his shadow over his eyes. He's got that little toothpick in his mouth. Got that grimace, like David Goggins. Is that the guy from Fallout? The ghoul, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like he's got one of those little faces on. Maybe a little bit of chin scruff. Get the belt. He looks big. He's got some big hips right now. It's kind of his pose. Hold on. I have to, we're gonna be working this out. This is actually not too bad. This is not like proper form. Like if you try to push him over, he'd fall immediately. You know, like his legs are not spaced out like well enough. I'm thinking maybe his leg goes here. And then the foot goes out like that. Then the other leg, it reaches out really far too. I'm thinking also like we're like looking up at him a little bit. You know, like the camera's a little bit lower than his face. So it makes his like entire figure look a little bit more imposing. Hopefully. We'll see. Just keep working. I'm gonna work on like just the one body, so like we can get that figured out. He's got like wide birthing hips for some reason. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about that when you're older. There we go, reaching back down in the belt. Kind of looks like he's flashing you. Don't worry about it. You got like the coat like flips. I'm trying to also think of like the physics of the coat itself. Because I don't want it to like bunch up to, you saw earlier, like I did like the dynamic little triangle. Hold on, I'm gonna do this on another layer. You want the lopsided triangle. I think this is what Ethan Becker talked about in one of his videos. I don't know what the actual like rule of it is, but it's just like a very like dynamic shape that's like very aggressive in your eyes. So like if your figure follows this, it's gonna be a little bit more eye-catching. That's not like consciously what I'm thinking of. It's just something that I kind of have an idea of, you know? It's like the rule of thirds. It's like, even if you don't really think about the rule of thirds, usually your brain just automatically does it. Like, especially if you're an artist yourself, like you just kind of know like, oh, if I put like something here, 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 or here, it's going to draw a little bit more focus, you know, like it's going to be like the focus of the piece. You know, like the eyes will naturally focus on these 4 points in order to see, like, here's where the focus of the picture is. Oops. Yeah, we're gonna try to follow that triangle, but not too hard. We'll see. Tiny head. Big old fanned out jacket, you know, like the duster, just big old collar. Looking a little sick, little flying, a little nasty, not gonna lie. Kind of dripped out the wazoo. There we go. We got like a decent little pose here. And maybe he has like the little pirate thing going where he has like multiple belts. Maybe multiple pistols going on, just like shaking in his belt, kind of going crazy, going loose. It's almost like those scenes in movies where like they walk in with a trench coat and you know, like they obviously have something in their jacket, and then they open it up, it's like 600 guns or, you know, 100 bullets or something crazy. That's kind of like the scene that's happening. But then I'm also mixing in like the multiverse of possibilities going on at the same time. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm kind of crazy right now. But I'm trying to channel that, you know, I'm trying to channel that into something that looks cool. Maybe you don't understand it 100%, but like something in your head will click like, oh, this is something cool. You know, oh, well, this is like some weird blend of sci-fi and cowboy. We'll see. Hopefully. I'm thinking color-wise. Probably shouldn't even be thinking this far yet, but let's see. Got this dark, spooky purple. So I'm thinking like we have some of this like dark purple color, but I'm gonna also include some like bits of orange peeking through. So let's see if I can like replicate that. Like this nice little orange color right there. Just like bright orange, dusty looking orange. But then it's fuse back in that dark purple. Maybe like a different brush. Something like texture, almost like stucco. You know what that is? Like this drywall texture. There we go, like right there. Maybe mix some of these brushes too. That way they have like different like patterns in the bleed. And then we can like dot a few back in, a little bit back in. Oh, this is purple. I was wondering why it wasn't leaving any marks. So I'm thinking this for like the palette. Almost like paint, and then you grab like a card and just like scrape off of the paint. My brain's kind of like thinking in like traditional painting tools. That's why like I'm using these analogies. But I'm also trying to like describe like what's going on in my head as far as like what I want from this. That's crazy. Not that. What the heck just happened? Did I just paint on my... Why can I paint on my... What is happening? Does anybody see this? What's happening? Is it showing up on my camera? It's not even on my camera. This is so weird. So for somehow I painted on my tool palette over here and it disappeared. I'm going crazy. I just started the stream and I'm already going crazy. This is cool. This is rad. I'm hallucinating. Oh, here we go. Paint and smudge is probably a good one. I'm gonna add this and we're just gonna keep pushing and pulling. That's how you get like those nice little blends of textures. Yeah, somehow like I painted onto my little palette over here, the little tools and all like the brushes, and there was just like a white line that I painted somehow on there. And then as soon as I turned the camera away and then turned it right back onto the canvas, it immediately like disappeared. And now I feel like I'm actually losing my mind. There we go. So you see now, you can see like this weird nasty mix of like purple and orange. It's weird, but I think that's like exactly the look I want to go for. Maybe for the background we can have like this, like a softer orange. Hello? There it goes. Just needed a second. Maybe like that like an old western kind of brownish orange, like a deep sepia color. Maybe not this brush. That's interesting. Nope. What the heck is this? I think that's just a smear brush. Smear. Yeah, that's a bug that I've literally like, I can't even imagine what happened in the code. Like sometimes when you see a bug, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like in Valve games, whenever two blocks get into each other, they start like twitching and exploding all over the place. That makes sense. But you know, like I paint on the tool section where there's no canvas. Like that's one where I'm like, what happened? Hello? Am I about to like teleport into like the beyond? I'm gonna like wake up in one of those The back rooms, there we go. I forgot the term for it. This is a weird brush. Just like this nasty, like orange, like a harsh horizon, like basically Australia in any movie that's not from Australia. It's just like what Americans think Australia looks like 24/7. That's basically what I'm going for here. Ooh, I got some nice colors here. This bright peach color. That texture is not meant to be. That brush is not meant to be that big. Square brush is so weird. Ooh, that's a nice texture though. Look at that. That's such a cool texture. It's like a oiled pastel or chalk pastel. That's nice. Even though square brushes are weird. I'm gonna turn up the guy so you can see him a little better. Keep him in mind. All right. Let me play around with his little section because I want to make sure we have him in mind. Let me grab all the ones above him too. Grouped in together. There we go. I'm gonna warp it too. Nope, not like that. Perspective, there we go. Make him wider towards the bottom. A little shorter towards the top. There we go. Kind of like he's like leaking into the beyond. Ink for brush for sketching. I do like a little like an ink brush for sketching. My tool that I use a lot is the chalk brush because I love brushes with just like a little bit of texture to them, a little bit of grit to them. Hold on, let me see. Most used. This is my main brush for like everything. Oop, there you go. Just like it's a very filled in, but there's a little bit of grit towards the edges of it. It's very nice for like just leaving a little bit of the color, especially if you're like doing a painting basically, where you want like some of the colors to bleed through, some of the mistakes to come through. If you just want like a clean sketching brush, I don't know if I do that much anymore, but let's see. This is a very nice brush. I wish I used more. Like a nice little, it's basically supposed to be exactly like a ballpoint pen. I really like this one, but I never use it for anything besides like writing my own self notes. I'm gonna do all this. Yeah, keep that. So yeah, that's what we're thinking of for like his look. And I'm gonna try maybe even stretch him out just a little bit more. We're gonna see. I do also have like a very basic micro line brush, so it's just default. You know, just no room for error, just 100% the color, no transparency, nothing like that. I guess inky, we could also do like, this one's a nice one. Like this is like a nice like little line brush with a little bit more like weight to it. So you can just like get those little sharp to thick to thin. It's a very nice inking brush. These are my general tools. I'm always thinking about like adding more, but right now I'm pretty happy with just my setup. I've got all the little extras that I use. Oh, also this pencil brush. This one's got like a nice grit and texture to it. This one's also great for sketching. Okay, back to this guy. I'm kind of liking what I got here. This is already like a nice little like color palette that I got that I'm working with. Let's see. I guess the other color. Hold on, let me pull out my color wheel. It's time for props. Here we go. Color wheel. Let me make sure I'm on camera. Color wheel. So this is a little tool. We can find out what's going to be the colors that work with each other. So I know purple and orange work together. They're not contrasting colors. So the exact, what is it? The complementary color for purple is going to be yellow. So we're going to have to figure out what the triad is. The triad should be purple, orange, and let's see. I'm spinning it around, trying to figure out where the colors are. Just stick with violet. Okay, so violet, orange, and then green, just a regular flat green. That's gonna be the third color on this wheel. So you can see here, violet right there. Right across is gonna be orange, right across is gonna be green. So we can maybe include green, but I don't know if I want to. I think maybe just these two, this purple and orange is all I want. Maybe a little bit of yellow in order to like soften it up here. Make it look like you know, like a dusty outback in Australia, or you know, the Wild West, you know, just hot. That's what I want it to look. I want the environment to look hot. I think green might be a little bit too, I don't know. Maybe like a dark green, like if we go like real deep into the value. So let's grab this like green here, and then we like make it real dark and like almost like an ink. That might look good. Like let's go like right here. Oh, I can see that. Yeah, that's not too bad. Maybe we can add a little bit more bright color to it. Just a little bit more. Just slightly more green to it. That's not too bad. That's okay. I could see that. Maybe for like his coat or his jacket. Hold on, I'm doing this on the wrong layer. Classic mistake. This song sounds like party music. I'm gonna put this above it. Come on, up higher. There we go. Here we go. That's interesting. It's not too bad. We might include this green. I'm wondering if we could like tweak it so like maybe for like the highlights we can get this like tan. We can add some like sun to it. Or maybe like a more orange color to it. Like a burning color. Interesting right here. And then add that dark purple. So this is triadic colors, purple, orange, and green. I don't know exactly what they do with each other. Hold on, let me see. Maybe it says on this giant color wheel. Harmonious color schemes. Triadic. Using 3 colors equally spaced from each other on the wheel. And that's all it says on the wheel. Doesn't have any description of why this color works or not. I mean, other than the fact that they contrast well from each other. Like, they don't mix in with each other and, like, get too vague and analogous. Like, you know, green and green-yellow, those will obviously, like, mix together in a way that's, like, you know, they're all going to be the same color. But these colors manage to, like, stand out from each other really well. So, like, you don't have to worry about the colors getting mixed in with each other. So if you try to have one character in purple and one character in orange, they're going to be different enough that they don't blend into each other if they're, like, stacked on top of each other. I'm guessing. I'm very amateurish when it comes to color schemes. Colors are hard, but I know enough of the basics, I guess I could say. Okay, so we're gonna continue messing with them. Nope, not there. There we go. The group. Here we go. So I'm gonna stretch him out. I might leave him a little bit smaller than that. Perspectives. This is one where I don't want his head to be big at all, because usually the issue I have is that I want to show the face and then I end up making the head too big because I'm like, oh, but you know, like everybody wants to see the face of the character, but I also want to fit in the full body. So like, how do I make those work? And I make the head end up being huge. In this case, I actually don't even care if you see the face, because there's not really going to be much character to him. He's more of like a character silhouette rather than a character, you know, like a face, like somebody that you're going to want to hear what they say. This is a man of action. Turn this fool. Turn him. What is going on? Move. Turn. Where's the turning? Ah. Oh. Maybe free perspective? There we go. I want to be a little bit more crooked. Something like that. I'm gonna also pull him closer a little bit. Nope. Oh my god, stop. Enter. There we go. I might make his head just a little bigger. I think we went a little too far. Could you move? Thank you. Okay. Then we just need to fix the background a bit. What happened there? Sorry. I should have even messed up when I did that. What is happening? Where's my paintbrush? Just freaking paint. There we go. Going back to all those like crazy brushes. Let's see. Let's go use this one. That one's too much to deal with. Too much to deal with. Come on, give me some like a nice texture brush that doesn't look like goofy in its shape. I mean, this worked kind of. The shape is still a little goofy, but we'll deal. There we go. A little bit like a little blending. Just like that. A little bit of texture. I'm gonna grab this color before I completely erase it. Can like get strong whenever it hits him, then slowly fade into like the distance. Maybe a little bit for the clouds. We'll see. Do like a little bit of clouds here and there. Maybe like a darker brown just for like objects in the distance. Sorry, I got like something in the back of my throat and I don't know what it is. Maybe coffee will help. You can have like little fences in the background or something, little houses. Trying to not to make it too big. Maybe like a saloon. Just like some small little hints of civilization. No, nothing too close. Okay, then I also want to see what it would happen if I just like smeared on like a nice blue. It's like a nice calm blue. Is that gonna like completely ruin everything? How's that gonna look? I'm probably not gonna keep it, but we're gonna just like fill it out. It's a pretty color. Like it's a pretty little, nice little blend of colors, but I don't know. I think we lose something by doing that. I think it loses that like serious, weird, wacky tone. Like I almost want to feel like we're not even on Earth. We're like on a different planet, and I think I want to keep that. Is that smart? Is that the best artistic decision? I don't know. I'm just playing around right now. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not even an artist. I just snuck onto this camera. You guys don't even know who I am. I just say words and say it confidently enough. Oh, my back. Oh, Sorry for the grunting and groaning. That's probably not what you're here for. Probably. Okay. I'm gonna undo all that. It's a very pretty palette though. Like I said, I want that one. I think I like this better. Yeah, just like this like crazy hazy crazy. Oh my goodness, what's happening to me? The only thing I can think of doing else is maybe just like a stronger red, just a little bit here and there. Maybe even like a smokier red, so we can have like a little bit of like a more of a darker tone to it, like a nasty little tone, a little higher, just a little. Like that. Too brown, a little bit more red. Even more red. I don't know why this is going like this. I'm trying to like carefully put it in, but then as soon as I put it on the canvas, I'm starting to think like, oh wow, I can go way harder. I can go way wackier, way crazier. Then I'm gonna regret it. That's usually how it goes. I think that might be the one. I think that's the one. It's got like a nice like blood orange tone to it. It's really strong and bright, but it's like got just enough like dark black to it. Just a hint of dark black to it. That's like that like just sends it to like it's almost like a shade instead of just a color, if you know what I mean. Like it's not just red that I'm adding to it. It's like a dark gray red, grayish red, reddish gray. That like makes it feel a little bit more like a shadow tone rather than just a color tone. I don't know if there's a word for that. I'm just, you might have noticed I'm just slapping together words, but I'm just saying what feels right in my head and hopefully explains it to you better. I'm just yapping. I'm just talking. Just saying words. What is blood yapping about? I have no idea. Ooh, there's a nice quality to this. I almost want to even put like I'm gonna make this multiply. Oh, what? See, look, it disappeared. Ooh. I started painting on my canvas again. What just happened? I'm gonna have to check the recording once I'm done with this. That's so creepy to me. It's there. What's happening? I'm so freaked out right now. This is so weird. I'm trying to grab stuff, but it's like painting instead of grabbing. Oh my god. I'm gonna use my mouse. Multiply, that's all I'm trying to do. Jesus. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. See, all I wanted was just like a little bit more of a gradient too, so I could like dip in and out. Yeah, that's perfect. You see how like dark and almost blood-like it's getting? Maybe I just want blood. That's all I'm here for. Go back to this, add a little bit more of that orange. Oh, it's so cool, man. It's such a cool color. This is so weird and like harsh and nasty. It's almost like toxic now, and I think that's exactly what I want. Why do I want that? I have no idea. I'm crazy. I'm wacky. I just know that I like it. I'm gonna add a little bit more like dirt and texture. Maybe even add that like dark red to like underneath his feet, so it's almost like he's bleeding too. Is he bleeding? I don't think so. Maybe he is. Who knows? Like a little shadow underneath him. Got the sun beaming down on him. Oh, this is a nice song. Okay. Let's see. This is awesome. I like this. I think this is like perfect for a background. Like this is exactly what I need. And it's funny because like I always try to tell myself, don't do a background, don't go crazy, just have something simple, you know, because then I end up taking hours trying to finish the background and make it look nice. But like, I don't know what it is. I can't help myself.
Ain't nobody asking, I'll be basking in my liberty, cause slavery is real. Doesn't mean the shackles gotta be revealed.
Sorry, I got distracted by the song. Whoa, what's going on? What's happening? Am I on the wrong layer? I am on the wrong layer.
The influence was heavy, or the faults even mine.
Okay, and then let's go back to the character. Erase this little what the? Oh, it's not a eraser. Hang on. I'm all over the place. Stop painting on the palette.
Yeah, it's the closest thing to feeling. Yeah, it's the only thing revealing. Trying to get me closer to the Lord.
Okay, these two. Okay, now we're set up again.
These words get to show you all my flaws.
And just grab the right color. There we go. Now we're all set up. Eraser. Eraser. Erase that little line there. Make this a multiply, or don't make it a multiply because it's doing this weird thing again. Oh my god, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Please just work. I'm begging you. Edit, redo. What's happening? Okay, I'm losing faith. It's not working. Erase. Okay, there we go. Normal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull these out of the group. Now it's just the character again. Now we're gonna make them a group of multiply. That way he shows up a little bit more clear and he doesn't disappear between the reds. There we go. He's like completely popped out. There we go. So we can keep working on him. Do I want to like turn off the background while I work? It's gonna be a little hard. It's multiple layers now. Hang on. I'm gonna duplicate this, send it underneath, make it a pure white. Oh, that's right. I forgot there's more than one color. I was like, why didn't it change? This is all the background layer. Bah. Right back in the blinding light. We're gonna put some color that's not white so that I don't blind myself while I'm working. I like you. Nice cool tone. Maybe even darker. Can we get like a muddier color? Right there. Fill that in. Nice. Really dark, but it's also, I can still see what I'm working on. I'm not blinding myself. We're good. Grab the right color. Now we're on the painting layer. Okay. Let's also turn off these. I just wanted to play around with the color to see like what palette I was thinking. There we go. Okay, back to this guy. Hang on a second. Okay. All right, thank you. I'm gonna be losing my mind, but I appreciate it. I'm just slapping around colors and just hoping it looks good by the end of it. That's always my secret technique. Just wait and see. But yeah, hope you have a good one. So the pose is looking good, I think. I'm wondering if can we make the legs like look huge, and is that gonna make him look like, you know, like there's a little bit more perspective, or is that just gonna make him look like he's got freakishly large, big, fat legs? Sorry, my brothers are talking about yet another concert. I swear I've been to like 4 and this year I feel like I've been to like 7 concerts. Like, Jesus, man, I need to calm down. I mean, some of them aren't very expensive, but like, still. Ooh, rap by Does that work? Kind of looks like he has a coat full of boomerangs. They're just really not very rendered guns right now. I guess it would help if one leg's a little further back instead of just like directly side to side. I wanted to go to see Furiosa because I heard literally everybody's talking about how good it is, despite the fact that like nobody watched it compared to like the original movie, and that made me sad. But the issue I have with it is just like everybody has like the reason that they didn't watch it. Like some people just said, "Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, movies just aren't that good." I think all that's kind of like, and they're not that good of excuses for me because it depends on location and where you go. You know, whether or not they're going to be super crazy priced. Whether or not it's convenient for you to go. I think that has more to do with it. You know, like, am I going to spend a lot of money? Maybe not. But am I going to spend a lot of money and drive very far? Then you have like then I can see that actually being a legitimate reason. But who knows? Everybody has a reason. I just said that. But for me, it's a prequel. That's like end of line. Like that's where my interest like dies. And I still want to see it now that I've like everybody has like recommended it. They've like I heard people say it's better than the original, not in action, but better in like actual story and pacing. Even from like reviewers that are like kind of picky, I saw them like actually enjoy the movie. So that's what like really makes me interested. I'm gonna undo all this. See if I like went too far. Too far. Oop. Too far again. I think right here. The dog's coming in. But yeah, I overslept. I missed the movie. Prequels are always like never that interesting to me, unless it's like so far that it has like almost like nothing to do with the main story. You know, like Star Wars. You know, it tells you like an entirely different story based on like characters that like didn't have as much development. You know, Darth Vader had like very little backstory in the original trilogy. I mean, you know, like he was the father of Luke Skywalker. Spoilers, by the way. But then in the prequel, like, you know, there's still so much like room in like how he become a Sith. You know, like that there was like enough that it made it interesting. With Mad Max Furiosa, it's like whenever I think of Furiosa, it's a bit. Whenever I think of Furiosa in like the Mad Max movie, Fury Road. There we go. I saw Furiosa as a character, and like everybody, like I saw that she was an awesome character, but it's kind of just like I don't have any like mystery to it. It's kind of like the Han Solo movie that everybody talked about being like really like unnecessary. It's like I kind of got the idea of Han Solo. Like I didn't need a backstory to tell me like, oh, this is how he got his name, or this is how he got like his jacket, or this is why he loves the Millennium Falcon. It's like that none of that is a mystery to me. So like whenever I realized that Furiosa was gonna be like the new star, I guess, and I was just like, I don't know if I need to know what her backstory was. I just know that, you know, that they're I guess a raider. I don't know Mad Max Fury Road's like world building that much, but they're like a raider. They probably worked for Morton Joe and then didn't anymore because Morton Joe is kind of a bad guy, just a little bit. You know, I'm trying to figure out how the jacket's moving. And also I just don't think Mad Max had a like super gripping backstory to me, at least super gripping world building to me. Like it's very much just like I just kind of want to watch a movie where there is a plot, but mostly I'm just interested in like watching the cars go fast and then crash into each other and doing like crazy stunts between cars and all that kind of stuff, like the practical effects, all that good stuff. I'm not really like, I want to know what Mad Max is doing. Like, I want to know what is, you know, like what is he gonna get married? Is he gonna have a family? Is he gonna be able to save the world and turn it back to normal? Like none of that stuff like really grabs me that much. And maybe I'm alone on that. Maybe that's just like a personal thing. I just want to watch Cargo Vroom and bang. Hang on 1 second. But again, like whenever I heard it was really good, and even like people who I don't think would like the movie said it was like very good. That's when I was like, okay, maybe, you know, like maybe I'll enjoy it. Maybe even if I'm not that interested or invested into the story, I can if other people who aren't interested and invested are saying that it's really good, maybe I'm just being too quick to judge, which, you know, happens. I definitely can be sometimes. Sometimes I dismiss things based off of like nothing. Just vibes, just bad vibes, bad juju. I wanted to go give it a try, but I ended up oversleeping, and I had no time. If it's up maybe next week, I'll try to catch it. If not, then I'll just like watch it when it comes on to HBO Max. It's not gonna be like the biggest tragedy that I missed out, but just wanted to talk about it for a bit because it's just kind of just been in the back of my head. I don't know. Also, I found out the dark saber from Star Wars was destroyed, and I just want to act like that didn't happen. That's a bizarre choice to just like throw away that bit of lore, and unsurprisingly, new Star Wars is not great. I think that I don't need to expound upon it too much. But breaking news: the new Star Wars has made another bad decision. I've got no idea what the backstory is. I don't really care. Like, it's the dark saber, you know, like it's like it's supposed to be that's something completely unique, a complete mystery. Nobody knows what caused it. There's not going to be very many like reasons that I would be like, oh yeah, that was a good thing to destroy a complete mystery that you could have just like had disappear from the story. Like, destroying it adds nothing to a story. It like literally just, I feel like the only thing that destroying the dark saber would do would like upset fans, like upset people who think this like cool little fragment of I don't know, the canon. But yeah, again, like the least surprising opinion I could have is like, I don't like the new canon. It always just feels like wasted opportunity. That's what always like annoys me about them in the movies. Is like, it feels like they rarely do something new and unique that tells like something that you don't really get to see, or maybe not even unique, but just like tell the story like well, you know. Like, I mean, like Rogue One, I felt like, I don't know if like heist movie is the right word for it. But Rogue One felt like a nice little like dark gray story that you don't really get to see in Star Wars, because like it's always about, you know, like the Jedi and the Sith. So it was like nice to see like, oh, here's like these people, and none of them are actually like that good of people. But it's really like interesting to watch. Just, you know, gray characters get something done in the background of a story. You know, in Star Wars, they're literally like just a mention of like, oh, you know, they stole this these plans for the Death Star, and then, you know, you see like the all that went through that. It's a little bit more interesting to me than, you know, just about the Jedi and the Sith. And then, so there was still even room for like the Force and talk of the Force with like the blind character, who still like fought people through his like sight within the Force. Okay, so the only thing I'm struggling with here is I don't know how much I want him to have like a perspective to him. So I kind of want to experiment for a second. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm just gonna leave him there. I'm gonna start on a new layer, and I want to see if I can work out the pose, maybe just like fully sketched out. I'm even gonna turn off the background. There you go. Okay. Make this, oh wait, no, the entire thing is a multiply. This might be a useless exercise, but I want to see if I can like make it a little bit more like a interesting perspective. So let's say he's getting closer towards the bottom. If we're like looking at him from here, this is kind of a way to do that. So this is if he's looking down. So let's see. Oh, so yeah, that's kind of like just something I always like wish. Like, one of the things that annoys me so much about Star Wars, any Star Wars property, is that a fact that everybody is human, or like 90% of the cast is human. And I get it. Aliens probably cost a lot to animate and, you know, like work out the costumes and all that. But it's so irritating that it's this world full of nothing but aliens. You know, aliens are like a minority, if anything. Or sorry, humans are like a minority in like, should be like a minority in Star Wars. But like 90% of every cast is like just human. Like, it just, that alone just bothers me. Like, I just wish, like, 1, human is fine. 2, human, fine. Why not just... There's like 30 or 40 aliens that just look like humans in Star Wars. Like the Miralukans, I think, are just like green humans with black diamonds for freckles. You know, there's like aliens that are just albino humans. There's aliens that are humans with like spiked ears. You know, like there's so many like near humans that you don't even have to try very hard to like make a character. Like, why is there no story where the main character is not a human that I can think of off the top of my head? Is there one? Oh, let me just Google one real quick. Just Google real quick. Star Wars non-human protagonist. Star Wars non-human protagonist. Ahsoka. Yeah, Ahsoka's a good example. Like, Ahsoka is like an awesome character. I don't know how the show went. I don't think it went well because again, new Star Wars, but Wookiees, oh my goodness. Well, Wookiees would be hard because I don't speak English, or common, or whatever they call English in Star Wars. I think this Star Wars Visions also had like one like episode, but Star Wars Vision was also kind of just like a random anthology. So this is kind of a perspective that isn't necessarily what I'm thinking about, but I'm gonna just draw it just to like see if I like it better. I kind of want him to be curved a little bit. See if we can draw that out. My dog's eating ice cream. You know how it is. This happens every time I eat ice cream. Pops in, eat ice cream, and then leaves the door open. You know how to be. Dog be. I think he's finished. This is a cool perspective. I like this, but it's not what I'm going for. But right now we're still just we're still working things out. His head's like completely upside down, trying to get into his little cup of peanut butter, or whatever the ice creams are. Hang on one second. I'm still stuck on human characters. Hold on. I'm gonna finish. Near human aliens, Star Wars. Here we go. Oh yeah, we're getting some interesting ones. I'm already getting some out of the gate. I mean, right out the gate, just immediately just getting some better creatures. Like, come on. Wow, okay. Just be all the way down there, I guess. General Thrawn. Blue-skinned people. Why is there no protagonist that's blue-skinned? Like, that would be very easy to do. Like, you don't have to completely break people's brains in order to make something kind of interesting. Let me see. There's got to be more. I thought there was a longer list. Hold on. Come on. This wouldn't even be that crazy. Come on, hurry up. The Duros. Like, you can easily like just put a person in like a foam little helmet. Maybe make it a little smaller. Maybe make it a little bit more lightweight, so people don't have to wear a huge freaking head. You could have like a cool looking Duros. I mean, what is his name? The freaking bounty hunter guy, Cad Bane. Like hide it in a hat or something. Like you could easily make a cool. Just look how cool. People love Cad. Cad Bane is so cool. Is it Cad Bane? I think I messed it up. Hold on. Yeah, it is Cad Bane. Cad Bane like is so cool. Let's see. The Moyans. It's basically the same thing. Haransi. Nope. Carmanians. Ooh. Maybe not those. Not them. Not the long-necked ones. Nikto. Nikto is kind of ugly. But you can have ugly protagonists too, but... True. These are not great examples. What are... Trandoshans, come on. Come on. You tell me you can't have a cool Trandoshan? Have you not seen what's the anime? Dohoridoro? Like you could have lizard protagonists that are goofy, nerdy, cool, fun. Like, come on. You can make protagonists out of this. This is easy stuff. And don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. You tell me you can't make a show with the Twi'lek? I think Ahsoka Tano's a Twi'lek, but come on. Is it? Hold on, let me double check. Tano? Did I spell Ahsoka wrong? Hang on. What is Ahsoka Tano? Pretty sure she's a Twi'lek. Oh no, she's a freaking Torgaruda. Whatever in the world that is. Oh yeah. There's a difference. But yeah, Twi'leks. Like, Twi'leks are they're just blue-skinned humans, or red, or green, or whatever. You know, like they're just like it's not that crazy. It's super easy. And if you go to like the extended lore, there are ones that are just white humans. There's ones that are just like, let's see. Oh, come on, look at this. This is now a Star Wars chat. I'm so distracted, but I don't care. I'm having fun. Where'd he go? This is just copy and pasted Twi'leks again. I got like 6 Twi'leks stacked on top of each other. There we go. Like, look at these. He's just a human. He is just a human with like spikes on his head. You can give him hair if you don't want like somebody like bald, because I guess like that's hard to do. I don't know. Let's see. There's one that's literally just like just a human being. There's one that's just human. I don't think it's because they're tan either. See, this is the one that I want to see. This is one that I would love to see. Like whenever I wrote like a mini story in my head of a failed Jedi mission, and the main character was like this young Miralukan. Hold on, let me double check the name. Mirialans, and they're just green people. They're just green people with dots. That's all. Like how hard is how? I'm almost done. Korvar, Kagi, Thonlisians, Leland. Oh yeah, look at this. Hang on a second. Okay, yeah, these are Miralukans, which I kept saying instead of Mirialans, but they're just people with no eyes. Like it's so crazy that they don't like dip into the E's at least. Oh, here it is, the Umbarans. The Umbarans are they're just white people, like bright white, like not just white, but like pale. Think about like one who's like, they're like evil as a race, I guess, evil as a species. But like imagine one that's like, oh, I was born in darkness, but you know, like I'm actually trying to fight for the good side, the Jedi. You know, like it's so easy. It's so easy, man. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm done. But this is just like a really annoying thing that I always hate about Star Wars. And that, like every time I see like a new movie or new series or new project, and the main character is just a human being, I'm like, okay, like I'm out. I'm out. Not I'm out, but like my interest is already like stepped down because like, oh, we didn't capitalize on a really cool aspect of this entire freaking franchise, this entire freaking world. Like, it's a story with like hundreds and thousands of aliens, and we're like, who cares about those aliens? though, really? They're just background features. They're like, we're not gonna think about them. It's all about humans. Let's get another human story. I'm not even mad at Rey. Like, I mean, Rey's like, it's a terrible story, but I mean, it's still fine. Like, if it was like an alien, I still think that would have been a little bit more interesting, a little bit more visually captivating, at least. You know, maybe you think about like what an alien perspective could be from, instead of just like trying to like imagine, oh, this alien's exactly like me. Sorry, 1 second. You don't even have to write like an alien culture in order to make it interesting either, because you know, like she's an orphan, so like she wouldn't be connected to any kind of culture anyways. She would just be a random humie. Anyways, before I get distracted again, my point is, I just wish Star Wars just captivated more on their huge like world. And I don't remember why I brought that in the first place, but that's just where my head went, and that's just where we're gonna leave it. What the heck? When did I grab that brush? Anyways. But yeah. Let me get a Star Wars, that's all I'm saying. Let me write for Star Wars. I'm not even part of those like really annoying guys that are like, oh, Star Wars was better, blah 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 blah. You know, like stupid woman character. It's like Rey's story easily could have been really dope, but it was just very, I don't know, disrespectful to like the lore, I feel like. And it made too many like little jokes about like, oh, you care about this thing, like Anakin's lightsaber? Ooh, let me just throw this to my side. Or you're like, oh, you like space physics? How about we just have spaceships crash into each other, even though that makes no sense. Like why that would be happening all the time? Or if it does happen all the time, why not show it more? I don't know. That's what really annoyed me about The Last Jedi. I was like, sure, it was a cool visual to show like a spaceship being divided in half, like at the speed of light, but that doesn't make any sense. And then, you know, like that breaks the physics of Star Wars. And it does have to be like perfect, you know, like world, but like, come on, make it make sense. Like make like a half second mention of like, oh, they have to disable their shield or something. I don't know. But they don't do that. They're just like, oh, we're just gonna turn around and crash right into him. And I think there's also like a lot of the things that people like pointed out that they easily could have made more interesting. It's like Kylo Ren. It's like, okay, he's this cool wannabe Darth Vader, and it's like, okay, what do we do with him? Nothing else from there. He just keeps trying to be a cool Darth Vader until he can't anymore. And then I guess he falls in love with Rey. I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel like they fell in love. It just felt like they knew each other, and like there was like a supernatural force that made them like each other. Like there was no compatibility. Like there was no like romance. There was no niceness. You know, like, or you know, like there was no moment where he showed respect for her. So it's like, oh, this isn't like a relationship. This was like, at best, him being weirdly horny and just being like, oh, I'm gonna sacrifice my life for you now because you're kind of hot, I guess. I don't know. Like they don't explain very well in Star Wars like why they have this connection. Besides, I guess he's like a bad boy, but I don't even think that's what they were going for. I'm actually twerking out his butt for some reason. I have no idea what I'm drawing. He's kind of like cocking out his butt like his crush is walking by. little bit more like that. That's better. Or like, I mean, the things that they thought about, like, sure, bringing back Palpatine was bad, but at least they could have made it like more cool and interesting. But I don't even know what I can't even. I watched the movie and I barely even remember how it worked. Did he fight them, or did he just like use his force powers and get yeeted again? He just got yeeted in the first movie too. Sorry, the first trilogy, the original trilogy. I mean, at least the prequels had like really crazy choreography and fighting. At least that was cool. Star Wars had like the really cool fight, I think, in The Last Jedi, but I didn't like the fight that much. But at least it was like I could see people enjoying that fight. You know, like if somebody says like, "Oh, I love that fight," and whenever, you know, Kylo Ren and what's her name? I want to say the actress's name. What is the character's name? It's not Daisy Ridley. What is the main character's name in the newest trilogy? I'm gonna have to look it up. Rey. There we go. Never mind. I figured it out. Rey Palpatine. Spoilers. I don't care. It's not good. Don't even bother. Sorry. I'm back on. Let me finish with Star Wars. Could have been cool. There's like plenty of ideas are cool. Like, I mean, everybody talked about how like it would have been cool if the stormtrooper guy Finn, if he had like a moment where he became like a Jedi, or maybe he worked his way to becoming a Jedi, or maybe he had some training as a Jedi or something. You know, like a stormtrooper Jedi would have been cool. They didn't really channel either of it. They channeled him into being like vaguely a resistance fighter. They didn't use like any of his stormtrooper background. Like he just, I think they did in the first movie. Like he like snuck his way onto the ship using his like stormtrooper knowledge, or maybe even in the second movie. But you know, like they didn't really use that much else after it, and that's not really like a lot to do. Like that's not really like a very interesting way to use it. Poe was Poe the entire time. I don't really have any complaints about him, besides him being kind of stupid, and then he never changes. Like that's just how he is for the entire movie. He's just kind of dumb. As much as I love the you know, like love isn't even the right word. As much as I like the actor Oscar Isaac, yeah, I do love Oscar Isaac now that I say that out loud. Now this one's interesting. I do kind of like this perspective. I might do one more, just seeing what it looks like if he's from the other angle. Because this is the side that's reaching for the gun. So you get to see his arm like cross over, but you don't get to see the gun itself, except for maybe whenever you see like it flow out. And I do like this like leg, that like you know, that bent leg where it's pew, 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 pew. Like that's just like a very naturally like interesting push pull push pull push pull. Leia dies, and then they CGI her for the last movie. I don't know. It was a little crazy. I didn't even hate the scene where she like force pulls herself back to safety. Like it's silly, but it's also like, yeah, that makes sense. She has every ability to become a Jedi as well. It would have been cooler if they did like the comic book route where she becomes a Jedi herself. But you know, fine. You know, maybe it's not what I wanted, but at least it's, you know, like you can work that into something. but they don't. I mean, partially because, you know, she passed away, rest in peace. But, you know, like, it's also like, I wish, you know, they did something with the character after that reveal. If you're gonna CGI her, maybe CGI her doing something cool. Maybe not Bruce Lee or anything, but making something, some kind of like using her force abilities to do something, you know, Yoda style, where you like, she just meditated and like immediately everybody got stronger or something. It's not like they haven't animated like old characters using the force before. Okay. So yeah, this angle's really nice, but I'm gonna try doing it one more from the other side. I'm gonna make it like actually go so you can kind of remember this. Actually, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna duplicate it. Ah. Then we're gonna layer, transform, mirror horizontally. Bah. Then we're just gonna switch up the arm so it still fits. Also switching up his momentum a little bit. I'm basically having to redraw it anyways. Okay, I'm gonna move on topics now because I think I've talked about this Star Wars way too much and being sad about it. Okay, last thing. I'm very depressed on the entire like franchise. I dipped into the games a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna buy the newest one, but yeah, I still want to like the series, but yeah, I have like no desire, and it feels like the people who run the thing don't really care either. And again, I'm not like just saying because, you know, like I'm not one of those I don't know, Gamergate guys, but just because they're terrible and stupid, just because, you know, they hate this character based on race or this character based on gender, that doesn't mean that the movies are actually super good. Like I do have a friend that likes The Last Jedi, and they liked the idea. They did like play a little around with like more of a grayish Jedi, you know, like a Jedi that's not fully in tune with the Force, you know, or maybe they're like a little bit morally gray. So, you know, like there is interesting ideas. Like I can at least see interesting ideas being worked into The Last Jedi, and I don't think it was 100% bad. It wasn't great, I will say. Hang on, I'm gonna zoom into the face for a second. It's hard to work out from all the way this distance. So something I did over the past 2 days was I got into some demos. My friend just like hopped onto a demo that I recommended, and I was like, well, if he's just hopping onto the demo, I'll actually give it a try. The game that really caught my interest and has like a weird turnaround at the end of it, The Big Catch. It's like a 3D platformer in like a very old school style, you know, like very blocky, but also like well designed. Like like one thing I want to say just right out of the gate, it looks gorgeous. Like it's a great looking game. I love the designs of the characters. I love the concept and all the mechanics that they play around with. But I will say it's a 3D platformer. This song is torture. What is happening? Why is there water in my ear? Thank you. Sorry for the artist, but like Christ, that water effect in my ear is really disorienting. And unpleasant. I'll just say that. What was I just thinking about? Sorry, the big catch. Great demo, fantastic demo. If you like 3D platformers, I highly recommend the big catch. And like they're going to be releasing a game, I think next year. So keep an eye out for it. It looks fantastic. Everything about it looks great. Small issue. I don't like platformers, 3D platformers. The issue is they can be very hard and very frustrating in their design. And I don't 100% hate it or anything. Like there are parts of it that I enjoy, but I played the game for 11 hours, fully finished it, got the one achievement for like beating the game, getting all the items and everything. But even towards the very end, I was getting so insanely angry because you just watch your character miss a half-second jump and just tumble down what took you like maybe 30 minutes to like an hour to figure out. And you're just like, you hit the bottom and you're just like, well, time to spend another 30 minutes trying to get up that cliff again. And it's just like, if you're okay with that, if that doesn't like completely kill your soul, it's great. Have fun. Like I said, great art style. And no matter what I say, I think I do want the developers to like be proud of what they made and like make as much money as possible for the game. Because I just like they're obviously a smaller studio that's like this is one of their first big games. I'm guessing. I have no idea for sure. And I don't want to be like the guy that's like, oh, this one small dev, screw that guy or screw that team. But to be completely honest, I took the game off of my wish list because I'm like, okay, I had fun with this game, but it was also super hard and made me angry. So I'm good. I don't want that. Like, if this is one level that they let us play for the demo, I don't want several more levels of this. This is infuriating. Like, I'm angry. Like, I just got the complete ending and I'm just like so annoyed. I mean, even when I got the last little item or the last little thing, I jumped off and then I went all the way backwards and then I realized, oh, you can't go back the same way you came. You were supposed to jump off the cliff and just like fall down. And so I have to redo the entire level because I thought you could go backwards and you can't. So like I have to go all the way back from the start to the top. And then I jump off and go back. And then I realize there's actually not the end. You can go a little bit higher in order to see the entire map. And I would have to go all the way back to the start and redo it again for the third time. And it's like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't know if this is explaining it well, but I think you can kind of understand why like I'm not having a good time with the game, or I didn't have that good of a time with the game. Like, again, mechanically, it's great. Like visually, awesome. Like, I love the visuals for the big catch. But it's so infuriating to me. Like, there were several levels where I spent like an hour trying to figure out how to get this here. And, how do I get this here? How do I make this jump? And then I would fall, and then I'd have to start all over again. And it's just, some games, if I have too much of a struggle with, and like I already feel myself getting angry, I just drop it immediately. Like, I'm like, okay, this isn't fun. Like I'm not having a good time. I'm not happy when I'm playing this game. So I feel like more people need to do this with like games like League of Legends, where it's like, oh, I'm angry all the time when I play this game. Maybe I should just look for another game. But I know that people don't. But I think more people should. Like another game that I had this with, and I think I talked about it before, is like Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner, I've heard, is like a great game. Like it's this cyberpunk ninja. You dodge bullets in slow time, and like you're running on walls and you're doing all these cool jumps and sick kills. But I played it for like 20 minutes and already I was getting extremely angry because you have to have like a perfect run where you don't get hit. And if you don't, you start back from the beginning. So it's like this really tight mechanic based game. Sorry, you're gonna see my stomach for a bit. So it's this like really tight mechanic based game where you're just like restarting. If you're fine, I'm bad at the game, that's fine. Like that's, I don't presume to be a super good gamer. But again, I shouldn't be laughing, or sorry, I shouldn't be infurious, like getting like gritting my teeth playing a game. Like I play Dark Souls and Sekiro and Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, and I just started Elden Ring last night. But they get me mad, but they're not so. Dark Souls 2 is the only one where I'm like, oh, I'm mad, I'm angry, and I pushed through it and I finished it. I never want to touch Dark Souls 2 again. That's not true. Maybe I'll touch it a little bit, but I won't like try very hard. Like if there's a boss that's like really annoying, I'm just gonna like not play the game. Like I don't think I have like a zero tolerance to being angry at a game, but sometimes if I feel like I'm just angry at a game, then I'm out. What's happening with this pose? It was so much cooler. What happened? Hang on. Something happened. Let me shut up and focus for a second. I'm just gonna start from scratch because I don't know what happened. Something happened in the pose. I'm just gonna repeat it. Oop, that was an accent. Anyways, yeah, point is, big catch. Highly recommend if you're okay with games that like are a little infuriating, and games that are like 3D platformers. If you're okay with that like routine. Another example, the Mario games. I like Mario. I don't love the traditional 2D Marios because I remember playing it and I would die in like 3 levels, and that's not fun for me. Like they were very difficult for me, and maybe I just suck. Like that's fine, but like I should not be. You know, it's not a very satisfying game for me. You know, like Dark Souls are hard. The FromSoft games are very hard, but they're also very satisfying to me. And maybe it's all just preference. Maybe that's all this is. But like I'm just saying that big catch. My experience, not great, not super cool. Very not Pog. If even I would even dare to say not Pog. I really wanted it to be, but it just wasn't. But I still want to recommend it, and I still hope that the devs make everything they can out of it, because it is. I can definitely see like there was a lot of passion in the work, and that they knew what they were doing. Like I think it's designed very well. It just might not be perfect and like foolproof, because I'm a fool and I definitely ran into a bunch of issues. You know, maybe issues I'd made for myself, and you know, it's nice when games account for people being dumb and not good too. You know, I'm not on the FromSoft should never put in the easy mode of a game kind of person. I think would be just fine. Does not bother me. Baldur's Gate 3 is a fantastic game. It has an easy mode and a hard mode, and an even harder mode. I think does not make it not one of the best games in you know of its kind. One of the best RPGs of all time. Sorry, I'm trying to lock in and figure this pose out. Although I guess maybe your ear fatigue will go away a little bit. Bless your lucky stars. Sunset sarsaparilla. Okay. This is a little better than it was before. Let me try that a little bit. Pop out the knees a little bit more. Make it a little bit more like a crouched, like a little. I said crouched once to somebody to explain it, but they were very confused about it. But this is what I mean, like crouched, like just bending your knees a little bit. Crouched, not like full crouch, Modern Warfare 2 on your knees aiming. Like when I say crouch, I mean just a little stunted. It's probably like a better word for it. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Word for what? Pose, bent knees. Ready for fight. I'm seeing yoga poses. Not kung fu poses. Jesus, man. It's showing me karate? Like, what's going on? Crouched pose. Maybe like a pose half crouch. I'm trying to figure out like a way to explain it. Like literally just like imagine yourself standing up like straight with a wide stance and then just bent a little bit. That's all I'm trying to say. Like not fully crouched, but just a little crouch, little crouch. It's all gaming terminology, so it makes sense in games, but I don't know. Now it's showing me things for cerebral palsy. Like that's, thank you, Google. You're so helpful. Ready pose pulls it up immediately. Is there a word for that? Okay, now I'm getting into like a fighting game terminology. Okay. Anyways. Maybe that's why they had a hard time understanding me. Oh, there we go. I'm getting it now. I'm getting it now. I gained that bend that I wanted to correct. There we go. Okay, let me see. Let me compare these two. I think maybe the bend's a little too strong. Hold on. Oh, my brush is too big. I was like, why is none of this working? Oh my god, hold on. Am I getting it? Is it finally working? I had to lock in for so long. I almost forgot that I was streaming. I think I'm finally getting it. It's still looking a little rough, but I think we're getting there. I think we're almost at that point where I got it. We're like right on the verge of getting a good post. That sax is going. I love it. There we go. Hold on. Did I get it? I think maybe just the pelvis is a little too far forward. A little too far forward. Hold on. Let me look at it again. Let me look at it. It's almost just there. I'm still gonna have to tweak it a little bit, but it's getting there. Yeah, I think the pelvis should be a little bit more cocked. Let's see, hold on. This is a good song. I know this one. Hold on one second. I want to double check. Is my overlay working properly? I just want to make sure the names of the songs are showing up properly. Open up. Nope. Open up. There we go. Hang on a second. I don't see the names at all. I think maybe I have to... Hang on, this is the wrong one, isn't it? Hold on, wait. I'm just gonna have to double check it whenever I get done with the stream. Okay. Zoom back out. Did I lose it? Hold on. No, I think it was just always a little funky. Hold on, let's go back a little bit. Right there. I think that last like little change I made was a bad decision. Like redrawing the pelvis for like the 5th time. That one, I think that immediately was going down the wrong road, but I caught it. Okay, I think one thing I'm missing is that the chin should be, we should be seeing underneath the chin. Which I technically am, I just didn't draw it in. Or technically we are, but I just didn't draw it in completely. There we go. Look at that a little bit. Is that it? Is this it? Hold on. Did I get it? What's funny is like I don't even know if I want this if I do get it right. Because again, like this is like what we had originally. And that might just be better, but we'll just see. This one definitely not. I remember this one. This one was just like me experimenting with like the angle. I decided, so I've been quiet for a little while, so let's recap of what I did. I drew the pose that I wanted straight from the sketchbook. And then what happened was I wanted to see if I could make it more of a 3D perspective where it's, I like including those perspectives where, you know, it's big up top and then a small on the bottom, or big below and then a little on the top. So basically, don't want the camera to show the character straight forward. Don't want it to show it from underneath so he looks like, you know, a little bit taller, or don't want to show him a little bit from above, which usually makes people look smaller. And I wanted it from below to make him look a little bit more tall and grand. So you get to see this. This is the underneath pose. That was me first, like just being like, okay, how do I make him look tall? You know, like how do I make him look like that big grand figure? You know, like this big grand pose and movement. And then the second part was like, okay, let's do that, but from an angle, so you get to see more of a side of him, a side profile. And then I was like, okay, but this side profile looks sick. But then what if I change it to the other side? You know, so we get to see him opening his coat. And this is where we are now. Now here's the thing. I like the leg. This leg up here. This leg is good. And I think I'm gonna break away from the original, because what I've been doing is trying to make it look almost exactly like this picture here. Just to make sure like I knew how to do it, kind of like I'm just, you know, like flexing my anatomy memory, just to be like, okay, like how is this leg gonna work from here? You know, like if I look at it from a different angle, how's it gonna look from that angle? But now I'm thinking like, okay, now that I know what it looks like from that angle, how do I make this look just a little bit more intriguing? And I'm wondering if maybe flaring this leg out more would be more interesting to see. And toes is pointing a little bit too far in. Should be maybe a little bit more straight. I'm going real crazy with it, just to see if it looks like real interest, if that makes it like any more fun. Just like pop it in and out, because we have like almost like a realistic version of what we could do, but I'm wondering if we could how can we make it more like crazy and wacky? Like, you know, like there's a difference between, you know, like a Spider-Man pose like and then a Spider-Man pose where it's like, you know, his leg is bent up to like his all the way up to his chest, his arm is bent so like it's almost bending backwards. Like it's just, you know, like how can you dial it up so it's a lot more dynamic and interesting? I am gonna make a copy though, just in case that I completely screwed up, because that's fully well possible. Is it a little boringly safe? Sure, but you know, we have digital tools, may as well use them. Now, obviously, I'm going like crazy, but we're just like playing around, see like how far I can take it before it starts to look just goofy. Which, I mean, we're pretty close to that already. bro look just broken right now. Bro broke the mold and his femur. Interesting. So one thing that I've been worried about over the past few months is like I worry that like sometimes I get too like locked into making a pose look real, that I don't have enough fun with just like making the pose like a little bit more extreme, like cartoonish, because I don't like doing a very realistic style. I just realism is almost more of like a crutch for me, where it's like I know how to do things realistically in a way that it looks, you know, like smooth, but that doesn't necessarily make it more satisfying to me. Like I look at a piece whenever I do it like super realistically and everything's like in a very natural kind of way, it looks a little, you know, a little weak compared to what I know I could do, which is like really just whacked out of my mind stuff. And that's always the most fun for me, whenever I'm just like, this makes almost no sense, but it's fun. It's eye-catching. It's, you know, it draws your eyes a lot more. And so long as you can read it, you understand like, okay, that's his leg and it's moving backwards. That's when I'm like, okay, then we succeeded. You know, we pushed the envelope and it's still, you know, like legible. It's still good. You know, like it still works. That's my always like my biggest goal, is to make sure that it's clear. Especially coming from like a comic book background. Not that I wrote comic books or anything, but a lot of my work is from reading comic books, studying comic books, that kind of thing. It's really important to me. Clarity is really important to me, and I don't think I succeed on that always, but there's always like something in the back of my head that I'm thinking about. How far did I go? We went a little far. We went a little kooky, a little crazy. I think this might be it. I think this might be the pose we go with. Now, part of me is a little concerned. Like, I'm a little scared of how like crazy and whacked out the pose is. But I also just, like I was mentioning earlier, like I want it to be weird. I mean, like, what have I been talking about this entire time? Like, besides from like all the memes and references to like Star Wars and video games, is that this is supposed to be a maximalist cowboy. So it's like it's a cowboy in a pose that's very familiar, that reads very clearly. You know, like he's reaching into his bandolier to pull out his gun, or you know, he's pulling his gun out. But it's so extreme where it's like he's not just reaching into it, he's like diving into it, his little portal beneath the side. He's not just whipping it out, he's like pointing it through the camera. You know, like I kind of want it to just be extreme. And is it gonna look good? I don't know. Like I'm gonna try. So let's compare this to like the original. That's not the original. So this is very simple, and here's my concern. Should I go with a crazy pose with a crazy everything, or should I go with a simple pose and go crazy with everything else? And I'm worried that maybe the answer is the latter, but I think I'm gonna go with the former. I think I'm gonna go with this pose. I don't know. I think I'm gonna maybe leave this here. This is gonna be just like one quick session, and I'm gonna give myself like a week to think about it. I think that's what we're gonna do, because I really am wondering, like, is it gonna be too whacked out? Because like sometimes what you need is like a clear, easy pose, and then you can go crazy from there. But then if you have like crazy on top of crazy on top of crazy, then it's just nonsense. You're like there's no structure in your head. You're looking at like you're looking inside of like one of those paintings, and you're trying to figure out like what is there a sailboat there? Is there maybe a mountain? It's like that's not going to be the point. Like there's room for that, you know. Like there are those paintings. I don't know what they are called. MC Escher's paintings. Let me double check. Escher. No, that's not MC Escher. I have to squint, I guess. Almost there. Hold on, give me a second. Painting sailboat. Joke. Okay, I can't think of it. But anyways, this is like an artist that's like really famous for making paintings that are like almost like abstract, but if you squint, or if you see it from far away, or if you look at it like a certain way, some people can see like a figure in it, or they can see a sailboat. And that's kind of like the so chaotic, but there's a like interest to it where you're trying to interpret the chaos. But then, you know, if you're trying to make something that's a little bit more easy to see, but maybe just a complex idea for people, sometimes it's good to start with something very easy and simple to structured, and then go from there. Kind of like optical illusion drawings, if that makes any sense. And I think that one's actually MC Escher. Hold on. Let's see. Trying to find a good example. Let's go with this. Let's go with the this like castle painting. So here we have an MC Escher drawing. I don't know what it's called, but it's an optical illusion where the angles don't make sense, but it's also very simple in its structure that it reads clear. So you can tell like, okay, this is a column. This is like a waterfall. You can see like it's a path that goes up and left and up and left and up and left. And then the interest comes in the parts that don't make sense, where you're like, wait a second, it's all simple and the structure is simple, but it doesn't match up one to one. And that's the fun of MC Escher's pieces. At least I think. Maybe I'm talking complete nonsense and completely wrong, but what I'm wondering is like, sometimes you need that simple structure to convey complex ideas. So like he needs that simple, here's this weird looking house in order to convey, but look at this, what's wrong with this house? Look at how I bent everything so you can see it clearly. So I'm wondering if that's what I need, where I'm like, here's a cowboy, very simple cowboy, but then here's this crazy idea inside of the cowboy. I'm gonna leave it and think about it, little stew on it. I'm gonna maybe sketch it out further on my own just to see which one I like more. But that's where I'm gonna leave that. And I'm gonna just go ahead and work on a goofy little sketch on the side to keep us company. I don't think this piece is gonna take super long. I'm thinking maybe like half as long as all my other pieces, but we'll have to see. Let me just look at that one more time. This is fun. I like this. I really am like having a good time with this one. See, so this is like the complete other side of the same picture, same post. And I think that's great. That's awesome. But I think this is a little bit more like dynamic, where it's like, oh my goodness, like it's so like eye-catching and eye-grabbing, where it's like it's not just him reaching for his gun. It's like the most extreme version of him reaching for his gun. I don't know, I'm trying to see if there's any way to simplify this into a triangle. Jacket flaring up makes it too one-sided, so you have to like completely ignore it. Unless you just have two triangles. Interesting. Interesting. This makes sense, right? Okay. So, like I said, I'm gonna think about this. Let me bring back in the colors so you can see kind of like the palette that we're thinking about working with. Ooh, I might have to flip it. Layer, flip, mirror horizontally. There we go. Makes a little bit more sense now. Hang on. I want to do one more thing. I'm just gonna play with this for a second. I got lost. Hold on. Where's my? Okay. Okay. So this is kind of what I'm thinking, you know, like this like wild, like a little mess of guns, bandoliers, hats, just like all that just going crazy. Maybe fading it in and out, you know, like we can obviously put like make it more of a ghostly kind of thing where it's like it's kind of hitching in, hitching out. We'll have to see. I'm also thinking maybe like what if we had like this crazy little white spot on his eye. Hold on. Interesting. I'm wondering, like, also, like, maybe just like making his eyes and face disordered, kind of like he's moving and it's getting the colors are getting like smeared across the film. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm about to make a goofy little guy. Because, you know, I like drawing goofy little guys. I am myself a goofy little guy. Let's start with the big old thing. What? There we go. This isn't part of the image, so that's why it's like completely blocking everything. He's a thick little boy. Trying to give me a girl like this, you know? What's his name? Young Gravy say? Trying to get me somebody that's so big, a girl with a butt so big she has trouble walking. Oh, who says that? It's not you. It's not Young Gravy. Hold on. Might be Zach Fox. Why is it telling me Drake? That's not a Drake lyric. Oh, do not go to images. Whoops. What? Who wrote Family Matters by Drake? That's not what I looked up at all. Oh, it's a little Dicky. Okay, never mind. I remember. I knew it was one of the goofy ones. All right. Back to important business. Hold on, let me do. I saw a post. Somebody found like a little frog at a thrift store that was like perking up their butt, really in a really goofy way, and that's just been on my mind. There we go. Enjoy. Let me turn them off for a second. So yeah, we're gonna keep working with this idea. Probably not gonna make a video about this one because I think it's still too early in the process to have like anything to show off. But this is kind of the direction we're gonna be going. Hold on a second. Make it like a hard light. No, not like that. Color dodge. Not quite. Overlay. Soft light. Soft light's kind of cool. Let's keep it soft light. So yeah, this is kind of the direction we're gonna be going. That's obviously a sun. Obviously. What are you, silly? What are you, silly Billy even? Hang on, let me just erase the pencil lines because I think that's making it look kind of ugly. So yeah, a little bit of a short stream today. I usually like the first ones. I just want to like kind of slap together ideas while like chatting with you guys. Just like seeing what you guys think. What happened to the brush? There we go. This critter has been really goofing on me lately. Goofing and even gaffing on me, and I don't know if I like it. Kind of looks like the sun is bursting and exploding. And then let me put like a white spot like right at the center. There we go. That's what we got right now. We're gonna keep tweaking it, keep working with like the canvas to make it all work together. Is it gonna look good? Maybe not. Maybe it looks trashy whenever I'm done with this. It wouldn't be the first time, and it probably won't be the last time. But I don't know. I'm having fun just like playing around with the idea. But we'll see. I'll see if I can work it out on my own. See which I like to, what I end up liking better. You know, like the really crazy pose, or if I like the more relaxed pose that, you know, I can tweak later. We'll just have to see. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this week. Thank you for people who tuned in. If you were only here for a few minutes, or if you're just watching the stream that goes up on the archive later, I really appreciate anybody that takes some time to just hang out, see what I'm working on, share my art, and just have fun. I just, you know, like I just like to do this for fun, you know, just on my own. It'd be nice to get paid a bunch of money and become a millionaire, but for right now, I'm just happy working on some crazy ideas and just hoping it comes to something that's a little bit entertaining, a little bit interesting. But yeah, let me go and do my shoutouts, and that should be it for the week. Let me double check that I don't have anything coming up. Let's see, my schedule. I'm gonna be going to, oh my god, that's next week. Next week I go to buy stuff, and most of the time I make it for the stream, but sometimes I get here too late to start the stream, so should be here next week. If I'm not on by like 7:30ish, then I probably missed it for the day. Some traffic probably held me up, or I was just too tired by the time I got home, but we'll see. Then the following Tuesdays are all good, completely clear. So unless something happens, you know, she'll be here next week. If not next week, then every week after that I should be good. I'm gonna keep working on this. I'm gonna figure out which pose I like the best, how we're gonna handle the rest of it, and keep working. It's kind of a wild piece, kind of a crazy idea that just like popped into my head. I saw. Oh, let me go and shout out. I was originally inspired by Jorge Corona's art. He's doing a series right now called Ain't No Grave. Let me go and show you what inspired this. Comic, not the Johnny Cash song. I think that's where the name comes from, but let's see. I think something like this right here is what inspired it. Let's move this all the way to the top. So he's a really like wacky and crazy artist. So when I saw like this pose with this like huge jacket and this huge scarf and this huge hat, and I was just like, whoa, that's a really like cowboy to like the nth degree. And then that idea of like, you know, a huge suit, the cowboy that's like so exaggerated that it's like beyond even just a cowboy. Like this is where like that idea came from. So Jorge Corona, really great artist, really unique artist. Like I think he's one of those artists that isn't gonna work for every book, but when they find something that works for them, it's really, really satisfying. And I think this is something he could do really well. Like Cowboys, I don't know if zombies is part of the story. That might just be like an incentive cover. But yeah, I'm just really, really inspired by a lot of crazy comic book art. So we'll see how this, if I can like channel any of that wackiness. I mean, I think I got like a good amount of wackiness already. Like this is a pretty crazy piece, but we'll see if it actually ends up looking good by the end of it. All right, now I can do my sign off. So feel free to check out my YouTube channels. I have 2 YouTube channels. The first one is an archive channel where I upload the entire stream on just for posterity. So if you want to watch it from front to back, you know, the full 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. I don't think I've done a 5-hour stream. 2, 3, 4 hours on your own time. You weren't able to catch it live. You'll be able to watch it on YouTube and, you know, comment along with it whenever I upload it. Usually the day of or the day after. Just takes a little while for YouTube to process the, you know, 2-hour videos. And then also I have a time-lapse channel. So time-lapse channels are channels where I edit the entire stream down into, instead of 2 hours, into maybe like 5 to 8 minutes. And those are very satisfying to watch because you get to see the entire process and you can catch up in a single sitting. You don't have to actually watch the entire like several hour stream if you don't have the time to do that. You know, just whichever, I want to make sure that you have like whichever option you prefer, you have that option. Then if you want to keep up to date with me, the most up to date is on Instagram, Raul A Pena _art, just like my Twitch. I'm pretty sure. Let me go check. Did it show me? Oh, it's Raul A Pena. Okay, so Raul and A Pena _art, or you can just click any of the links down below and you should be able to find me. Instagram's where I'm most active. That's usually where I post my artwork first, and you know, anything very interesting or any kind of updates about my life usually go on Instagram. I have also switched over to Kara, which is Raul A Pena without the art, just Raul A Pena. So check me out over there if you want. I don't know how the Kara's gonna do. I just wanted to make the move while all the other artists were doing it because I think it might be a good like networking opportunity and just another avenue for people to be able to notice my art. Like I don't know if it's gonna take over, you know, like Instagram, because the entire reason most artists that I know use Instagram is because of how it can connect to like a normie audience, a non-artist audience. So just being a place where artists congregate, I don't think that's gonna do much for like getting other people to notice you, or you know, getting you a more mainstream audience. So I want it to work though, you know, like I would like it to work, but I just don't know if it's going to. But I'm going to at least give it a good effort and, you know, upload more of my artwork on there. I still need to upload like a lot more art. I'm just gonna dump all my art. I'm not even gonna worry about descriptions, just dumping my art straight on there, and then start to have once it's all the pieces that I like are uploaded, then I'll have like just like a copy and paste where it's on Instagram and Kara equally. Maybe even better descriptions or something. I don't know, because I don't think you can do tags, and tags are usually what really slows me down. It like drives me nuts. But yeah, Instagram, YouTube, Kara. I'm also on DeviantArt if you want to see some of my older artworks. Eventually I'm going to start uploading it on there again, but I've just been very slow. Descriptions always slow me down. But yeah, check me out on DeviantArt. You can also see some of my older artwork or artwork that I don't think was good enough for Instagram. I usually end up posting to DeviantArt just because it's like a dumping ground, you know, pieces that maybe I'm not super proud of, and but were, you know, like fun little ideas and experiments. Like if this ends up being like a really bad piece, it's probably going up on my DeviantArt instead of Instagram. But like I said, this one's just for fun. This one's just me trying different techniques and different styles. We'll see. And then what else we got? Oh, okay. I have a commission sheet. If you wanted me to do one of your characters, am I even on camera? Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm on camera. If you want me to do one of your characters, whether that's for Dungeons and Dragons, Vampire the Masquerade, or if you want me to draw a character that from any kind of like media, like Chainsaw Man, Batman, any of those kind of things, just go ahead and take a look at the sheet down below. I have one of those little clip things. It's kind of like a nice little fidget toy. If you want me to draw any like character that you like from any sort of media, and you want to see it in my style, or you want me to try to their style, I'm very flexible as far as like trying to replicate other people's styles. Just go ahead and take a look at the sheet down below. Shoot me an email or message me on Instagram. Just try to include a little bit more information about what you're looking for, so I know that you're not a bot. You know, don't just say hi, or like, hi, I found you from Twitch. Say like, hi, I'm interested in some work. You know, like, here's a character that I've made. Would you be able to do this or that? If you don't understand the pricing chart, you can also just talk to me. I'm very flexible, you know, depending on how good your idea is or how exciting your idea is. I'll usually do it for cheaper, but, you know, just talk, you know, pay a rate that's, you know, fair. But yeah, we can discuss all that in the emails and the Instagram comments, just one of those two avenues. And then again, be wary about, you know, there's a lot of bots that I get harassed by on every website that I'm on, so try to keep that in mind and try to make it very obvious to somebody like me, like, hey, I'm not a bot. Like, here's I don't know, 3 bicycles, or like, here's 3 stop signs. So, you know, like the little CAPTCHA things. And then finally, if you don't want to go through the process of doing a commission and you just want to make a quick one-time donation, I do also have a PayPal link down below. Feel free to put any money down if you'd like. Wow, that was rude. My dog just opened up the door, walked in, walked right out, left it open. Rude. You can make a quick one-time donation down to my PayPal link down below. Just any little bit would be very appreciated. it really means a lot whenever somebody's willing to put money down on like something that I create. It shows that they're not just like you know, they're not just interested. They're actually like willing to put something that they work for towards just supporting me as an artist, and I really value that. And I think every artist just values that. Like it's, you know, like I wish I didn't have to commercialize my work, but you know, like there's just no better representation that, like, even though I don't know who you are, you're not my friend, I'm still willing to put money down just to see you keep creating. Like that means everything to me. But yeah, no hard incentive, you know, like if you can't afford it, don't even bother. Just, you know, like just something to make it feel like my time on Twitch is being appreciated and my artwork is being appreciated would really go a long way to, you know, maybe I could spend more time doing this if I get a more regular source of income, or, you know, like maybe even do it full time. I would love to do artwork full time, but you know, life doesn't work that way. But it's all right. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not coping. I promise. Not okay. But yeah, just take that up. Take a look. Check out the links. Keep an eye out for YouTube and Instagram. Instagram, I did post something on Instagram, just some sketches that I've been working on in the background for the past like few months. There's a bunch of artists that I love and really wanted to try like their styles and see if I could like replicate some of their pieces that I liked. And it was a really fun exercise. I think I made some really great pieces from it, but I also don't want to like take credit for it without like, you know, mentioning the people who 100% inspired that. So yeah, check those out. Pinging people on Instagram can be a little annoying because I don't think everybody appreciates it. I think a lot of people who are on Instagram really hate when you just like mention their names and, you know, like do the @ and their name, because some people will do it nicely and some people won't do it nicely, or a lot of people won't do it nicely. So I just had their names next to it and just don't even bother. Like I'm not trying to steal their audience or anything like that. So I don't want any kind of confusion on that. So anyways, check that out. Really good pieces, really cool pieces of art. And if you don't like it, too bad. There's another 2 weeks of that coming up because I made a lot of those little practice pieces. And some of them are really sick. So enjoy, please. I beg of you. And then also on YouTube, I should have a full supercut of the Omar piece. So let me double check just to make sure if that got posted. I don't think it ever came up on my feed. Hold on, let me just check. There's my channel, videos. Yeah, the supercut did come out. It came out a day ago. So yeah, keep an eye out for that because I am very proud of that edit. It is a little disorienting because it was super long. Like easily one of my longest pieces that I've done. So yeah. Okay, that's gonna be it. That's it. I've mentioned everything. I've wrapped up everything. Oh yeah, hold on. That's gonna be everything. Hope you enjoy. See you guys next week. If not next week, then the week after. But I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night. Bye.